Hey, it's Toasty Fresh back again for another update video. This one's again on my collection. Picked up another few things this month, so I thought I'd come and show you them. And this will probably be it for a while because I'm going to leave it and lay low and concentrate on actually gaming for a while soon. So this following month and stuff like that will probably just be me playing on the games that I've got, and I'll try and curb the buying, but I can't promise anything. Anyway, I'll just go through a few things that I've collected recently, and the first one, which is the one that got me rubbing my hands with glee when I got this one, which was a gift of someone, really, sort of. My girlfriend and I, we went to her cousin's, and I was just going upstairs. I went to the toilet, went over to their house to have a bit of dinner and stuff like that, and a catch up. And I noticed a pile of games and a Game Boy Color, and I just, noted how cool it was. I said, "Oh, that's cool, you got a Game Boy Color," because I didn't know she was much of a gamer. And she went, "Oh yeah, we've had that for ages. I don't even know if it still works." So she said, "If you want, you can take it." So I was like, "Yeah, I'll snap that bad boy up straight away." And I'll just show you what I got. It was the Game Boy Color, which I saw, and it's the lime green one. I think it's called lime green anyway, this one. And came in the box as well. And I was just loving this because I had a Game Boy Color myself back in the day, and I think I had the best of the colours. I had the turquoise colour, which I think was the coolest one. And I picked it out myself, lucky enough to have a choice of colours, the shop I went to, so that was the one I got with it. And also it came with some absolutely amazing games. The first one I'll show you was the one I was the happiest to get, which was Pokemon Red. They're all Pokemon games, but this was the one I was most happy about because it was the one I used to have as a kid. It was the colour I picked Pokemon Red, which I got for Christmas back in maybe 97, I think. I'm not too sure. Yeah, it might have been 97. And I picked this up for Christmas. It was the last one. I ordered it from Argos. It was the last copy because it was when the deep into the craze of everyone going Pokemon crazy. So everybody was rushing out and buying these like mad. And the other game I got was the one that my best friend got because we coordinated our Pokemon buying, and he bought Pokemon Blue. And that one, Red, is fully, everything's in it, the instructions and everything like that. Sadly, Pokemon Blue, it's just a cart, and just a little poster, but there's no instructions in there, sadly. But still amazing to get the box as well with it, so very happy about that. And my mate also went out later, as well as Blue, he bought Pokemon Yellow, which I've got here as well, which I'm super excited to go and play. It's got a little bit of a damage to the case at the back. It's a little bit beat up, but you don't see many of these anyway in absolute pristine condition unless you want to pay an absolute premium for them. And I got these for free, so there's no complaints from me at all. And I always wanted to play this one because it's the one where you can easily get all three starting Pokemon easily with it without faffing around getting your mate to redo the game again to send it you via link. And yeah, my best friend at the time had this, and I left it because it just wasn't different enough from the other Pokemons to warrant me going out and buying it. So super excited to get that one as well. And then finally I got Pokemon Pinball, which has a vibration function to it, which I haven't checked yet because I've got to get a AA battery. There was one in it, but it doesn't seem the battery on that one is at its last legs, so I couldn't really test that out sadly just yet. But I think there's some AAA lying around somewhere. But the console itself works fine. Only thing is the B button is a little bit stiff, but maybe I could do something to fix that. But that's the only thing I've noticed with it. It's just a little bit sticky, but apart from that, brilliant, and it means that now I can go out and get original Game Boy games, which I've done that very thing, which I'll be showing you in a little bit. But it means I can get Game Boy Color and Game Boy games. I was fair game for Game Boy Advance games with having a DS, but the older ones were still no go. So now I can actually go out and get them. To be fair, I haven't got any older ones. These were the only ones that I actually have now. But apart from that, and then yesterday I went to a car boot sale in a nearby town to me. I just took a bus there and got soaked wet through trying to find it, because it was on like a side road. It's what was a cattle market, and on Sundays they do a car boot sale there. And I picked up a few games. The first one was next gen, really. It was, well, just the previous generation, which is Final Fantasy 13. I picked that up for £3, really, and it's complete. And I got this because I've always wanted to try it. I'm a big fan of Final Fantasy series, and for some reason though, I've never gone out and played the latter titles for the PS3. And this one, some people, purists, have said they don't like it. They're not liking it because it's a bit, very much apparently holds your hand through quite a bit of the beginning segment of it, which a few Final Fantasy veterans have been a bit insulted by that. But sometimes though, you got to take the rough and the smooth. Think that there's going to be new people coming into a series that maybe aren't used to it, but it's pretty self-explanatory, really. Final Fantasy, I don't think it takes that much to get into it. But I'd rather see for myself and make a judgment for myself. I mean, Final Fantasy 12, I did like it, but I didn't have as much love for it as I did the other titles that I've played. And Final Fantasy X-2 was probably my least favourite. I know a lot of people love to dog that game, and I'm not saying it was terrible, because it wasn't a terrible game. It was still pretty playable, but it wasn't Final Fantasy X at all. But even then, probably people might have dogged Final Fantasy X, because I thought it was quite easy compared to 7, 8, 9 and earlier. I mean, I've only played 6 of the earlier ones. I've never gone any further back, to be honest, yet. But yeah, I'm very looking forward to playing that one and actually making my own decision on it. And the rest of the games I got from that car boot were PlayStation 2 games. I did see a Mega Drive, but I was absolutely starving by the time I'd looked round everywhere. Because I looked round everywhere before I went and got something to eat. So I thought I'd spotted the Mega Drive, and I was going to go back and make him an offer, because he had about 5 or 6 games with it. One of them was the first Sonic, and I can't remember what the other ones were. There was some sporting games. I think maybe the Winter Games, Winter Olympics or something like that. I can't really remember fully. But by the time I went, it packed up, because everywhere seemed to pack up pretty early that day. I think not a lot of people, and as many people had gone due to the rain. So I only managed to pick up some PlayStation 2 games, because there were PlayStation 1 games there, but I didn't want to buy them just for the sake of it. There were no absolute standout titles for me to get excited about, to be honest. So I got the first one I'll show is because I got it in a deal with the same guy who I bought Final Fantasy 13 off. For £5 I got Final Fantasy 13, and I got this one, Resident Evil Outbreak. The guy was a big Resident Evil fan, so he said this one's pretty good. He said his personal favourite's Code Veronica, and he did have Code Veronica for the PS2 as well, but I kind of waited on that one because I've got it for the Dreamcast already, so if I want to play it I can already play that on the Dreamcast. And it's pretty cheap to get hold of, so I left that one. I was only picking up the odd title, to be honest, and I kind of reined myself in a bit. And all the rest of them were games that I think I paid about £1.50 for. There's a guy who was packing up, and he just said that name a price for whatever you see. So I offered him £1.50, and I got Tony Hawk's Underground, which I've liked the Tony Hawk's games. I had the first one, and I think I had about the second one on a copy, because my PlayStation 1 was chipped. And that's not got the instruction booklet though, sadly, but it only cost me a few pence. I got a Onimusha 2, Samurai's Destiny, and I remember my brother playing the first one. He had the first one for the PlayStation 2, and it was a very good game, kind of like made by Capcom, and it's kind of like a Resident Evil type, Devil May Cry kind of survival horror from what I remember of the first one, where you're fighting against sort of zombie samurai. But I've never played this one. I've only ever seen the first one played. So if it's anything like the first one, it'll probably be pretty good. To be honest, probably a pretty sweet game. I got Formula 1 2002. The only problem with this one is it doesn't actually have the game. It just has the bonus DVD, which I just opened it up, saw that and thought, oh yeah, the game's in it, and didn't really check properly until I got home. So that one's a bit of a fail. But one I was really quite happy with is I got Sonic Mega Collection Plus, which is a big collection of all the Sonic games for the Mega Drive and the Game Gear. So you've got Sonic 1 to 3, Sonic and Knuckles, Sonic 3D, Flicky's Island. There's Sonic the Hedgehog Spinball and Dr. Robotnik's Mean Bean Machine. It's also got most of those, like Mean Bean Machine and Sonic the Hedgehog. It's got the Game Gear versions as well as Sonic Chaos, Sonic Drift, which is like a Mario Kart kind of game, I think, and Sonic Labyrinth and Sonic Blast as well. And it also says it's unlockable, so there may even be other games. It's on a Platinum, but in this instance, with it just being a compilation of old school games, I'm not too bothered, because I'll be looking forward to playing them. I mean, some I've already got. I mean, I've already got quite a few of the Sonic games already on the Mega Drive collection, which is back there somewhere within my PS3 titles. It's like I've already got the Mega Drive collection, so because I never played much of the Mega Drive, to be honest. It was a console that I never owned as a kid, and I had a SNES, and before that it was like playing on my brother's Commodore 64 and his Amiga. My eldest brother had the Amiga, so that was a title I missed me by. A lot of the titles for the Mega Drive, apart from playing Friends and things like that. But that's all I got really from the car boot. It was a bit dry, to be honest. There weren't much pickings. And I also got an R4 card though for my DS, so I can put a few games onto that and try out a few games without actually having to go out and spend the money of them, because a lot of them, they are still keep the value quite well. Like I've got Pokemon White, I think Pokemon Pearl, and it's still like 25 quid in Entertainment Exchange. The first one I got, which is a little bit of wear and tear to it, is Super Mario Land, because I thought now I've got a Game Boy Color I can play it. Because I remember playing, I don't know if this one's as good, but my friend had a yellow Game Boy Pocket, and I borrowed it off him for a little bit, and he had Super Mario Land 2, the 6 coins, and I sort of dismissed the Game Boy game because it was all in black and white and stuff like that. I never had an original Game Boy. I kind of dismissed it apart from Tetris and a few of those games, as most of the games would be rubbish for it, but I played that and that was an absolute amazing game, so I thought maybe the first one's just as good, so that's why I picked that one up. And I also picked up Wave Race, and they both cost me like a couple of quid each, £2 each I think they were. And then today I went and got a few games just while I went out and took my girlfriend to a doctor's appointment, because I live in a really small town near Burnley, and but amazingly enough it seems to be a brilliant place just to pick up games as you're flying by to other places. Like there's 2 charity shops just down the road from me, and there's now like a second-hand pawn shop, so they seem to be getting more games in. Like they've got a Super Nintendo in now, with Mario All Stars. So maybe in time, if they've still got that, I'll offer them some money for Mario All Stars, because that's an amazing game. First ever game I got for the Super Nintendo. And I picked up a couple of games. I got 3 games from the charity shop. I got a game that I used to own for the PlayStation 1. I got WWF SmackDown. And this was the first real quality game that actually stood up to WCW versus NWO games for the N64 or WrestleMania or No Mercy. This was the first ones by THQ and Dukes that actually stood up to those games and was actually decent. Because I had Warzone and it was okay, but it was nowhere near the N64 games. This one was the one that started to challenge that and change things, SmackDown. And it was an amazing little game for the PlayStation, and I had a lot of fun with this. So for getting that for about £1 it cost me, because they just sell the games at £1 each. Was amazing, and I picked it up and it's in pretty good condition, which is the thing from that charity shop. It's a hospice one, so it's for a really good cause, and the games are usually in really good condition. So that's why when I got the other 2, I don't mind paying the £1, because some you can get them for less than £1 if you're going to order in bulk off Entertainment Exchange, but they're usually in really good condition, so I know that they're going to be safe to buy and they're not going to be scratched up or beat up cases when they actually arrive. Like from Entertainment Exchange, sometimes, and most of the time they're good, but sometimes you can get the odd iffy one. And first I got the Herbs, Sims in the City, which I've only ever played a little bit of this. It's okay. I used to have Breaking Out, Sims Breaking Out, and that was pretty good if you like The Sims, and probably most people know what The Sims is about. So it's an okay game, but that's about it. I mean, it's fun-ish to play. It was in brilliant condition. It's got the instructions and everything. The disc looks like new, and that's why I tend to get a lot of games from there rather than go to Entertainment Exchange, because they seem to be really well taken care of. And I also got a Sega Superstar Tennis, just because I thought it'd be a good little arcade game, and again I knew it'd be well looked after. So, and it has all the main characters from Sega games that have showed up on there, like characters from the Knights games, and what is it, Jet Set Radio, which I've got, and Sonic obviously, and just a lot of others. I forgot what some of the others are called now. But it's got Super Monkey Ball and Samba de Amigo and things like that. And it should be a good game, kind of like in the Mario Tennis vein or Smash Court Tennis, kind of arcade tennis game. And I think it's got some kind of mini games like zombies, hitting zombies. It looks quite fun. So a lot of mini games in that kind of vein. And then from the second-hand shop I walked past, I just saw they had a big box of PlayStation 2 and original Xbox games, and I picked up one game because I remember absolutely loving the original games for the Amiga, and that was Escape from Monkey Island for the PlayStation 2. I got that for £1. This one's in pretty good nick. And it looked like it came from it was at Game Station. Spent some time at Game Station at one point. But I never played this, and I don't really know why, because I absolutely love the series. Maybe it's because in my heart I just love the old point and click ones. So having it in sort of a 3D-ish modern one, I kind of resisted buying that one. But I thought, no, I can't resist any longer. I've got to try it out. So I got that one. That one only cost me £1. And I also picked up a series that I've not really tried, because when I got to some of the other consoles from the PS2 onwards, I didn't really bother too much with platformers, which is a bit narrow-minded of me really, because a lot of them are quite good. And that was Spyro, or Spyro, however you pronounce it. I think it's Spyro. A Hero's Tale, is it called? Yeah, Hero's Tale. Which I've not played any of these at all. So it'll be a new experience for me playing this game. It is complete, but it seems to have a little bit of, I think it's got a little bit damp at some points, because the sleeve is a little bit funky. It's gone a little bit warped. But it's a game that looks quite good, just in the mode of a lot of those kind of games, platform games, so like Crash Bandicoot and Ratchet and Clank and things like that. So I should look forward to playing that one. And then today a game arrived, which arrived pretty quickly to be honest, which I paid £1 for it off eBay, and I got another original Game Boy game, which is Wario Blast, which I didn't see the small print, but I thought this must be a game that's similar to Bomberman, and I think I might even have played this, but it does say featuring Bomberman in the small print, so yep, I thought that's what that'd be. And I think I may have even played it when I borrowed my best friend's game back in the day. I think he had this actually as well. So that's my third original Game Boy game. So now I'm up to 3 in my budding collection. And I've got, no in fact more, because I've got, what, 4? No, 6 actually, because I always forget that the Game Boy, the Pokemon games, the original set were original Game Boy games. Because I own the Game Boy Color, it just automatically puts colour onto them. Well, a certain amount of colour, it just enhances them a little bit. But yeah, that's what I've got so far. But from now on, I'm going to be concentrating on playing games. I'll probably do a Let's Play at some point. I've got to wrap my brains about what to think of playing, because I've now gone, I don't know, because I've just got this, I just converted this unit for holding my PlayStation 2 games and PlayStation 3 games in, because my PlayStation 3 is up here as well with my retro consoles, and the Xbox 360 is downstairs with the PlayStation 4. But I've now got to, but I'm putting them away, and I worked out, I think I had 99, so now I've got 99 PlayStation 2 games. So I've just broke the 100 game barrier. So I've now got 100, 1, 2, 3, 5, 6, 7, 8. 108 now. So I'm going pretty good guns on my PlayStation 2 collection, because they're pretty easy to pick up cheaply, like £1 each when I'm at the charity shop and stuff like that. Means I can build my collection quite steadily, and it's not really costing me a bomb to do it. Which is why I've kind of hung fire on collecting for the N64 or the Super Nintendo, because they're quite expensive to get a hold of if you want them in decent condition. I mean, most of my games are loose. In fact, I don't have a boxed Super Nintendo game at all. I've got about half a dozen boxed N64 games, and the rest, again, are loose. But that'll I'll maybe show you another time. If anyone's interested in my N64 collection. I'll just take a quick drink because I'm getting a dry throat. But yeah, that's what I've been collecting. So anyone's got any thoughts on any of those games or anything like that, you're welcome to leave a comment and things like that. That's all I got time for. So I'll see you guys later with maybe, I don't know, I'll maybe think of a different idea for a video, like a discussions video or something like that. I don't really want to do a top 10 video because they've been way overdone, in my opinion. And it's a thing that I don't really like doing, boxing things into my top so many games, because there's just so many amazing games for all of the consoles, or the consoles as well. It'd be hard for me really to pick a top 10. Excuse me. Of anything. So I don't know, maybe just a discussion on something which I'll wrap my brains on. But for now, that's all I've got time for. I hope you guys are all doing well, and I'll see you guys next time.